Here we have Musette by Anonymous, although it's often said it's written by Bach. And the reason it's said it's written by Bach is he put it in, he married a second time after his first wife died, and he married a quite young lady. He loved her very much, and he taught her how to play. And her name was Anna Magdalena. So he wrote this notebook of music for Anna Magdalena. Not all the pieces were his, they were pieces he borrowed, but ownership of music was not really something that was an issue in those days. So we still don't know who wrote this piece, but it comes from Bach. Now, a musette is a type of bagpipe, a particular type of historic bagpipe, and bagpipes have these things called drones, and a drone is a long note that keeps playing. In this piece, we have this D as the drone, but instead of holding it like a bagpipe does, the composer separates the notes, but the drone is still there underneath the music, and there's a couple of drones through the piece that we'll notice. Okay, so look at the right hand, we've got pinky, and now we come over the keys, we don't stretch or slide, and we're going to put third finger on the F sharp. So notice what happened there. We had our 3-note slur, which we floated off, and then we have our scratching notes, and then we do that again. And then we have our third finger on F sharp, and 3 notes and come off the third, and then scratching notes. And so I'll play, no, you can listen to the hand separate video later to get the rhythm, but that's to get you note placements. Now, that's section A. There's a repeat on section A, and then section B starts at bar 9. So we've got C sharp goes up, 3 notes under a slur, we come off the third note. And then pinky on A, 2-note slur. So drop, roll, you've learned that technique, drop, roll, done. So C goes up, drop, roll, E. A, E, A, E. Again, the dropping roll, drop, roll. 4th finger on D. And that comes off. Now, in this one, you're here, and then here. Okay, so, except there's notes in the middle. So this is our bass. Think of this E as our bass. There's our low E, which is functioning as our drone. So do it again. I missed a staccato then, didn't I? And then we do it again. And then we've got 4 on E, and we need to be into the forest a little bit. We don't want to be on the edge of our key. And we come off the last note. And then 2 on the G sharp. 1, 4. So 2, 1, 4. Then C goes up. A, D. 2, 1. There's a few fingering options here, but I like the 2, 1 there. And then 3 on C sharp, and then the A. I will point out that none of this slurring is original to the Bach edition, so if you're listening to other recordings online, you might hear different articulations happening there. And then after that, we go back to the beginning section. Now the left hand, so we have our drone on D. And make sure your hand is nice and relaxed. We're not stretching because, oh wow, we know where the notes are because they're under our fingers. We don't want to have our hands stretched. We want to keep it nice and relaxed. And then we put 3 on F sharp. And it's the same pattern as we had in the right hand. 3 notes, come off that slur, then scratch. And then we have the Ds again. And then we have 3 on F sharp, 3 goes off, scratch, scratch, and hold. So maybe I'll show that first section, hands together. So the hands work together quite nicely in this one. So we have this part. And then we put both third fingers on F sharp. And they come off together. Scratch, 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 scratch. And we do it again, so we have to jump back out to the same note we started on. And then both third fingers on F sharp. That's the first section. Now, the second section for the left hand, we have a drone on A, and then a drone on E. And then 3 on C sharp. C sharp goes up. And then the right hand was doing AD, the left hand is doing AD as well with those nice scratchings. And then C sharp goes up, and then A. And then it goes back to the beginning. Okay, so I'll play the hands together so you can see how the 2 hands interplay. So it's C goes up. Notice how both came off that note. And then slur, drop roll in the right hand. Then forward to D. Now we're going to the E here. 2, 1. And that hand was 2, 1. And then that little bit that was a bit tricky. Remember that our bass is this E here. Whoops. Drop on that D. I didn't talk about that in the hand separate because it's got the accent. When you come up and over. Notice we're avoiding stretching. We want to keep our hand nice and neutral. And then we're in the forest to do this bit. And we're still with that E drone. And then 2 on G sharp. Now this is where our C sharp goes up in this hand, but we've got A, D in this hand. Then C sharp goes up, and we have A, D in both hands in opposite directions. Contouring motion, A, D, and then both 3s on C sharp. And then it goes back to the beginning, and so on. Okay, have fun learning it.